Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland. Your one and only Lord and Master of here to a 1v1 on Amilly Fields. In the north, it is Xavier fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with Blitzkrieg, Spearhead, and Jaeger Infantry, Infantry, Panzerfaust. In the south, it is IncaUna fighting for America, freedom, democracy, here with airborne, mechanized, and Recon support with triple infantry bulletins. Off to the races here, forming up the 6th Armored Division versus Xavier and the 116th Panzer Division Vinhund. Also, very big thanks to my Patreon supporters as always. A big hearty thank you to all of them from me and my cat Basil. You too can join the heroic ranks by clicking on Patreon or donating yourself via PayPal. Links are in the description. As always, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. So we've got so far, obviously, rather nothing happening here with Germans heading westwards, Americans heading eastwards. We've got a Pathfinder start, well, Recon support start here with Pathfinders possibly, for IncaUna with great tactics, the unarmed Pathfinders, airdrop combat groups, the M8 Greyhound, and the cluster bombs. Tank types go down with some barbed wire as well, rather than going the point here, efficient capping order there. So I'm seeing something else from Xavier and in the northwest. Only squatting eastwards here though. So we're off to the races very steadily here. Ground points there. Further barbed wire here to ensure the Germans don't use that tank trap against the Americans in a future engagement. I said obviously would be a sad moment. There we go. We do get the Pathfinders here for IncaUna. We do get them. And eastwards here. Bit of skirmishing there as the rifles pushing the gunners need to get away there. I mean, they could try and fight it out. They hope for the units to arrive, but the problem is the gunners getting focused down so fast because the rifle squad up close just has so much DPS. And with the Grenadier squad, they're just trying to hold up for another unit is in most cases really not worth it. Not with the Grenadier squad. He said there have been Panzer Grenadiers or something else with like a high rate of fire and thus better DPS versus the rifle squad. Sure, but a Grenadier squad is just getting completely trounced. So switching towards the centre, probably should keep a bit more effort on the west though for now. We got the Grenadier squad being forced, probably going to be seeing a third one here for Xavier. Points being seized, grab the point, back here in the base for Mr. IncaUna. All quiet, probably going to be seeing a lieutenant, could also be seeing a lieutenant captain build, and thus going for a Greyhound build there, utilising the Greyhound obviously as your light vehicle, skipping the mechanized command post, and then using the airdrop command group for the artillery, but still getting access to the machine guns and anti-tank guns. It's a bit of a particular build we see with some players from the Americans. If they do go for recon support, they may just, skip the mechanized post, just rely on both captain and lieutenant, and so on there. Gunners got the point here. Rifle squad race moving forward here for freedom. More gunners moving up here. So that's triple Grenadiers now for Xavier. At the same time, you can see there the Western field being harassed here. Cut off soon here by the Americans. Good play though. At the same time, Xavier's doing the same to his opponent. Also machine gun here. Nice setup there. Actually managed to catch IncaUna in a bad spot. So tables are quickly being turned around here. Thumbs up to Xavier. West side we got Pioneers with Pathfinders. Got the co-op on there. Grenadiers them moving about. Had it been a Pioneer squad, he could even consider laying down S-mines around here to threaten to retrieve part of the units, in which case sub heavy damage. Okay, going for a full Grenadier build, bit rare there for the Wehrmacht. They're certainly slightly on the rise as of late, obviously gives them more immediate infantry, though obviously can have some issues there if you're not careful. We've got the Lieutenant out there for IncaUna. Some players like to go for a full Grenadier build if they're planning to try and skip tier 3 and go for tier 4. 50 on the way there for IncaUna, freedom, democracy, going for this in field point, very good, grabbing the points there as well. Ralph's crossing about. Pioneers moving up sandbags down here. Grenadiers machine gun moving towards the rifle squad. Note by the way the actual usage of machine gun here by Xavier. Thumbs up. Good machine gun usage. The Wehrmacht I would say is obviously blind and using it actively to support your troops. So good play there. Good play. We got no sign of tech yet here for him. Probably should be soon though. And we do get nothing further heavy IncaUna. Again, hard to say what he's planning, but shall we say go with the most common choice of the American players that are effectively again like to say two major options. Grenadiers here actually somehow beating the rifle squad at least somewhat. Though again, as you might notice, even up close, in the loss, the rifle squad just have so much more DPS, but the NT does retreat. Pathfinder's arriving just in time. Probably could have held it up. Actually won that engagement without retreating the rifle squad. Does go for the mechanized command post, so looking like not a lieutenant captain build into then using the airdrop combat group and Greyhound to make up for the lack of a mechanized command post. I mean, that's also a viable build, obviously. Also note here multiple beacons here from IncaUna, gives them a bit more intelligence versus opponent. 5th car running to the MD42 getting suppressed. He's got the northern field point. Got the eastern victory point here. We do have tech on White Plaza bunker there for Xavier. No doctrine from him. Machine then being... Ooh, got actually the 5th car pinned down. He's around the flank. He has those reasons to deal with that. Very good here. But we got troops tanking from the south here. Suddenly the situation for Xavier becomes a lot more exposed. And he will have to retreat there. He will have to retreat. Pathfinder's flanking in here. The INR standing there for intelligence and reconnaissance. Gunny's heading out there. Pioneer's getting up that light to mechanized company. Gunny's holding up, but I think... I mean, he could go over Rive Grenade at the right time. Maybe sort of had a better chance of holding up for long. But again, versus 2 infantry squads, including the Pathfinders. With a lone unupgraded Grenadier squad, I think chance of holding out to this much longer is negligible, if not non-existent. At that point, it's basically going to come down to, like, getting the Grenadier squad, out of there so he doesn't have to, like, replace it entirely. But there you go again. Nice push for the car point. Nice constructive play there, but this time we still got the 5th car, which was not retreated here, causing a problem there for Xavier. So we'll have to see what he does there. One option again, we do switch harder for the eastern resource and then try and swing up from there towards the rear here of IncaUna's front line. That could be an option to consider. Back here, reinforcing healing for Xavier. Back at base. We do have the light to make a nice company up. Could go for an armored car. Of course, with the kind of build is going for, you may just go for a pack and try and skip ahead there a bit further. Oh, we do get the armored car, the 222, like the puncher's wagon. Gonna just quick to fall back. No sign of upgrades yet here for the Grenadiers. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Got one light machine there. Grenadiers are being focused down by the Rifle and the Pathfinders in particular. Heavy machine teaming in on its own. Definitely some aggressive, risky play there by Xavier. Armored car almost done. Back in base here. Nothing further on there. Bessel wanting attention right now. Bit difficult to get him as I'm casting, so I do apologise to both my viewers and to my cat. Stuart lighting on the IncaUna. That will definitely require some anti-tank body for Xavier, or some really good telemines, or possibly multiple armored cars. I mean, a pair of armored cars can actually take out a Stuart light tank if you handle it correctly, in particular in a more open map like Amilly Fields. You can, I think, outmaneuver the Stuart light tank, sort of get behind it and sort of fire with all the autocannons into the rear, in which case you can actually quickly take it out there. This time from north here, going Eastern point with the lieutenant. These ones we're going for the car point. Very consistent focus, harassment by Xavier. Thumbs up. Stuart light tank though is almost done here for IncaUna, plus an ambulance which supply troops with some glorious field aid. These are 3 echelons. Armed car continue to harass and pursue the retreating units. Very good. Stuart light tank though is out here for IncaUna, freedom and democracy. Going to suppressed here by the 50 cal. Yup. Tried to take him out in the retreating bar with the Rive Grenade. Cheeky move there by Xavier. Worked out, obviously been great there for him. In this case, though, IncaUna just had a tad bit better luck than Xavier. Grandly some field here with the Grenadiers for the 1 and 16th Panzer Division, Windhund, which means Greyhound in German. Troops enforcing. Sees the western point here with the Pioniere. We got 433 versus 482. 50 out there blazing away. Armor casting a few hits. Pack 40 in the way there for Xavier and the German army. Gunny is falling back, not trying to get the point. In this case, I mean, obviously he's just looking to harass. He could try and hold on for longer, but he's probably expecting it's going to be like in a very large response to the Grenadiers, and so rather than risk anything further, he's just thinking, okay, I've rendered the point neutral, that's going to slow down my opponent's fuel income, and then just dash off, which can make sense, honestly. In the west, we got Pioneers as the lieutenant. It's being handled through a light tank, resistance pushed back, machine holding up here, veterans who won, pack 40 almost done. Grenadiers reinforcing there, pack almost done here. Armored car getting the rifle squad. I'm busy, Bessel. Gonna swing about there, no further upgrades yet. Still rushing forward, so it could get a Panther pass off, then looks like that is exactly what's going to do there. Nope. Decides not to push his luck, he backs off, or maybe there's something else happening there, maybe a misclick, or something else. 2nd, 5th car there for IncaUna. So far, well, he has gone for recon support. We haven't seen much besides that one Pathfinder squad. We haven't seen, say, airdrop combat groups, which could be a nice addition. Greyhound's a bit further off, though, with the Stuart out. He could go for it, but there's also a good chance he does. I mean, some players would go for both a Stuart and a Greyhound, but there's, say, no real pattern or fine name, so player behavior. If you're far ahead enough, you can get away with it, but the resources are much tighter. Your opponent's a good chance of pushing with medium armor, though. Going for a ground to back up the Stuart will typically be fairly risky. Got taking you for two there. It's going to, of course, help us all the infantry. Less much against the Stuart. Bazooka fire there. Armor car gun is being forward here. Of course, need to be mindful of 50 cal. That Nadus. There we go. Strength to line of fire the 50 cal possibly. And the second 50 cal moving up there. Stuart also on the flank here. At 40. There we go. Good hit on the Stuart. Light tank. Pathfinder's picked up with the Grenadiers. 50 cal then a bit exposed to it. Their dodge is shot there from the Pat 40. They punch out their Cannon 40. Autocan looking to outmaneuver the 50 cal there, landing a few good shots. There we go. Forcing IncaUna there to reposition and fall back. Collapsing the center push here from IncaUna and the 6th Armored Division, allowing the 1 and 16th Panzer Division to advance forwards for the glory of Deutschland. Going to the fire here though. That certainly will need a bit more support here as the sort of light tank. The support is slowly moving, but nonetheless it is slowly even if it is moving. Going to take man losses. Rifling it off here in the Rifle Squad Lieutenant, certainly a bit punched up. Extra chance of getting some damage in there against IncaUna's forces, though not enough to force retreat. East still got 50 cal holding up the MD-42. Grenadiers could flank. We got Rifle Squad actually being flanked there and routed. Grenadiers need to retreat before they get wiped out. Machine gun probably, well, needs immediate support from the Grenadiers. Needs to get out there fast. Rifle Squad, they're low on health. Armored car pushing eastwards now. No tech yet there for Xavier. And back in the base of IncaUna, nothing further happening there either. Stuart's being repaired. Going for the Eastern Fuel on the west side though. IncaUna launches his own little push there, which could actually be thwarted, I think, fairly well with a single squad, then armored car maybe. Two Grenadier squads on upgrade with light machines, leaving only 2 to go. Armored car being fixed. Still no tech there. Certainly no tech there either. No weapon racks unlocked for IncaUna, and Xavier continues to not operate with the doctrine either. I mean, at this point, it's looking like either Spearhead or Blitzkrieg. Jaeger Infantry could happen, but seems less likely with the further you go in. Then we typically want to go for it fast and get the Jaeger command squad out there, but obviously Xavier's not displaying much of a proclivity towards that. Of course, another thing to keep in mind is the Jaeger Light Infantry upgrade. It's actually quite good on the Grenadiers against rifle squads, as it gives you a much better chance of finding them on their, shall we say, turf. So certainly missed opportunity there. He was planning Jaeger Infantry anyways, but there you go. Lieutenant pushed back in the west still. Fuel has been harassed. Note, of course, here that both players are doing quite a good job harassing each other's fuel, so 2 thumbs up there. Panther to a light tank. Main gun up. Machine has been wiped out here. Yeah, that's going to be a wipe here. A punishing blow there to Xavier. A great grab here for IncaUna. A real heist. And there you go, roughing it off in the machine gun crew. Almost got it though. Yeah. Re-wiping it. And reclaiming the machine gun. Für das Vaterland. Mein Gott, Ludwig, ja, es ist Americans, so almost got evaded our precious equipment. Ja, sad too, sad too. What do you mean sad too? What else is this about? Well, you know the biscuits? What biscuits? The biscuits the machine crew had. Are you an idiot? Shut up about the biscuits. Fifth gun to press the machine gun there, possibly. Bag of base, finally got tech up there for Xavier. Tech as well for IncaUna. The Major is on the way. And these guys going straight for the fuel pond there. Stuart moving forwards for freedom and democracy. In the west, going to say, looks like they're standing around the wrong point. Jürgen, I'm fairly certain this is not the victory point. I'm fairly certain it's that big flag over there. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. They're taking him down to the light machine gun, and the cannot TKs the Grenadiers, but the 2 squads there ultimately in with the might of the LMG-42. The Grenadiers are overwhelmed to force retreat. More light machines upgrade them. Artillery strike here clears up the machine gun crew, shattering the nearby terrain and slaughtering innumerable squirrels. But really highlights just one of the powers of the unarmed Pathfinder. Again, that 140 munitions artillery barrage is incredibly powerful. It just has the least reaction time for any player to react to it. And considering how they nerfed other abilities, you know, for being too hard to react, I'm surprised this one still hasn't been anything done to it. There's Pathfinder going for the machine gun, and they succeed. Can we this time see Xavier clear out the machine gun denied to the Americans? Well, this time they couldn't be able to hold away there. Also worth noting, not just crewed with any units, crewed with Pathfinders, meaning they can actually make full use of the MD-42's range on their own. Extra devious there by IncaUna. Going straight for another machine gun to replace the one lost, but definitely also get the Supremo Quantum Mittlerer Panzerwaffe here versus IncaUna and the Freedom Boys. Gonna use us the 50 cal. Stuart there being fixed up with the vehicle crew, wondering why they can't get any mechanics to fix it for them. I didn't sign up for the tank forces to, like, you know, repair my own goddamn tanks. Shut up, Carl. Ooh, another wipe with machine guns. It's also cancelled the one he had. He's going for the Suprema Core, but really just painful losses there for Xavier. Painful losses and another machine in the hands of IncaUna. This is a huge problem for Xavier. A massive issue that can really end up being quite painful. Because at this rate, IncaUna is going to have 4 machine guns, 2 50 cals, and 2 MG42s versus Xavier is going to have absolutely bugger all. His only advantage is going to depend. He's going to need to like hit back hard here at IncaUna. He needs to like turn the tide, and he needs to get his hand on some of all these machine guns, either the American ones or reclaim the German ones. But he needs some machine guns as well. He needs to pushing back the rifle squad. Fixing up the armored car, 7 kills, half expecting 2. It's being held up with the 50 cal there, behind an old truck. And with that, we can see with the loss of the machine guns, IncaUna has much more greater freedom across the battlefield, just like put pressure on Xavier. And the lack of a docking can, I think, be an issue here for him as well. Almost got Lieutenant here, though. So close, but retreats, I think, a bit too quickly there. Nice fighting attempt here, though, the 50 cal. Very good maneuver there by Xavier. Thumbs up. Good read of the map there. But map control is swinging aggressive in the favour of IncaUna and the match. There you go. Panther out, adding the pendant mounted MG42. Very good. Pathfinder pushed back by the Panzerkampfwagen 4, grab these in victory point. We got the Student Force there for freedom and democracy, 6 kills, half 8 of excellent 2. Catching the machine gun and the Pathfinder force retreat here for IncaUna. So that is a lot of machine gun teams there for IncaUna. A total of 4. Still backing off here. Panther considering pushing further, but probably is worried about other things hiding there which could take it out or being needed elsewhere. Moving ahead here though, grabbing points. Very good there. Tony caught by the Panzerkampfwagen, few shoots and gets in some light damage, but nothing significant. No casualties though. Pack 40 holding up, the Graham Eastern Field with the Grenadier, Graham the northeastern point there. Moving towards the western point, Panther getting the troops out in the open. Stuart 14 getting the Panther shot fired, kinda whiffed on that one. Back here, reinforcing healing. Further there for Xavier, Tech is slowly getting ready. We've got the Sherman away there for IncaUna. Sherman slowly getting ready here. Back here, reinforcing healing. Sherman there's got to turn out some pressure on Xavier for sure. That said, if Xavier can push the Panzers of the Sherman out of commission quickly, he's still going to leave IncaUna in a bad spot because he's only got really bazookas to deal with the armor otherwise. We'll have to see what he goes for next. Another heavy machine gun team. And he definitely is a big believer in heavy machine gun teams, and I applaud that. No, he goes for sniper. A bold choice there, bold choice. Wants to bleed out to the Yankees. This is a sharpshooter. Got hit by the Pack 4 and the Stuart light tank. Almost got there. Sniper halfway done. Machine gun being forced there, backed up a rifle squad. Western side seeing a little bit of pressure there. Panther 4 there, they're spotting the miscreants and immediately killing Lewis. If we copy return the Rearslons. Sherman 40 for IncaUna. And he's reinforcing, and he goes for Jaeger infantry this late. That's definitely not what I was expecting here. That is a late game choice, or mid-late game choice. Definitely feels a bit peculiar. I mean, again, he would have benefited from much sooner from D for defusing the Grenadiers A, because it's just like, again, I feel like they perform well versus rifle squads, but also just like he can more men upgraded faster, increasing more firepower early on versus IncaUna, but also could have got the Jaeger command squad out early. I mean, there's just so many benefits like choosing this doctrine earlier versus his opponents. I definitely feel like this is a bit of a strange choice by Xavier. It really isn't one of those doctrines you want to like pick like almost 20 minutes into the game. It's like one of those things you like you know figure out pretty fast. Yes, Basil. You went for Jaeger Infantry this late. Yes, I know, Basil. So you go for another Pantavoides to Stug. So Xavier, I think, has done quite a few things well tactically. There's definitely been some curious strategic choices here, in particular with that late Jaeger Infantry. Big push on the west here being lined up. We got plenty of infantry, got the heavy machine gun team, plus the major for artillery support or whatever else is needed. Certainly a lot of utility there. Power pump being held by the Grenadiers. Grenadiers close being wiped out. Need to retreat them now. We've got 341s with 390 big 2 points wise. It is fairly close from there. Go Xavier with the 2nd Panzerkampfwagenfear. I mean, in terms of the doctrine of uses from IncaUna, we got the Pathfinders, we got the cluster bombs, but no airdrop command group, and no Greyhound, though. There's still more than Xavier so far has done with the Jaeger Infantry, because again, he chose so late. And another heavy machine gun wipe here for Xavier. Good God. I don't think IncaUna's going to grab that one, but he's probably going to just destroy it, yeah. He does need 5 heavy machine gun teams. I mean, there's this thing is like, you know, too much of a good thing. Just being pushed back here. We got artillery called in here. I think also in part of family retreat of units. Almost got the squads there. We go ground back the machine gun, second panther almost done. Panther pushing back the 5th gun in the west. Very good. Eastern point being seized for the Pathfinders, and done beacons as well there. Multitasking with IncaUna, armor car rushing to deal with that. I feel like Xavier that needs to, like, you know, tactically flex his muscles a bit more. He versus IncaUna's like, you know, try and catch him off guard rather than just attacking head on like this all the time now. He needs to like launch a flank attack with the tanks, a bit of infantry, maybe the armored car, and try to like, you know, catch IncaUna off guard by, you know, a well applied, you know, combination of speed and firepower. And certainly IncaUna could also benefit from doing the same here to Xavier. So there you go, Panther 4 need repairs. Definitely should consider more Pioneers repair of his armor. He would definitely benefit a lot from that. Bouncing up east. Panther flying away there. Sherman for IncaUna. Nope. Considered it, but guess he's beginning like thinking he wants a Jackson tank destroyer instead. No, cancel that order, Major. Colonel, I want something bigger. Like an even bigger Sherman. No, a tank destroyer. Oh, right, yeah. Where would you mean get a bigger Sherman? Nowhere. I totally don't have a couple of friends in Mexico who could do that. Sherman forts here for IncaUna. Rob's coming about here. Nope, got the kitty. Maybe we can have a slightly nice time there, resting on my arm. There we go. Does slightly tie up one arm, but you know, makes the kitty feel a bit, you know, happiest as he's getting a bit of attention. Gets to cling to me, which he'd like to do as well. Showing up in the eastern side pack of infantry. Got the pack forward, he's replacing it, but that's definitely another sort of slap across the face of Xavier, another slap across the face, and at this rate, IncaUna's going to have more German equipment than the damn Germans. Which is not a great look for the Germans. I guess not a great look for the Americans either in some regards. And Carl flanking the machine gun there, Jackson Weather for IncaUna. Still calling the machine gun team there. Oh, almost got it, but no, one man survives. The cataclysmic artillery barrage. His friends are dead, but the last man lives. Fresh pack 40 out there for Xavier. Definitely a problem here that IncaUna has an anti-tank gun to help deal with his stuff. Definitely not great. No, Basil. You can't chew on the cables, you stupid cat. That is a bad kitty thing to do. Good kitties don't chew on the cables. No. Stop trying to do that, Basil. It's not good for you. No. Stupid cat. No, stop that. Anyways, grab the eastern point here with the grenadiers. I'm gonna put you down if you do that again, Basil, okay? I'm gonna put you down, and then you're not gonna, like, you know, be able to rest on me. So stop that. Pack getting greatly understood. Light chain there, pushing him down to almost half health. Sniper here. So far, doing too much. Got to the strike here, pushing back the machine gun. Panzer force bombarding here. IncaUna's forces in the centre. We got Raffgendorf doing further damage to the Pathfinder. Got 14 kills. Sniper there so far with 7 kills. Oh, 7. That's the same German. Pioneers retreating. West side not seeing a lot of maneuvering again. Like Xavier, I think is starting to rely a bit too much on force on a more pure level and not, you know, well applied force. Panda 4, they knocked up with the Jackson anti-tank gun combo. Further punching for just these head-on attacks. Like, you want to like keep attacking and maneuvering in the front and center of every gun IncaUna has. He's going to need a mortar to lay down smoke screen to like negate a lot of the incoming fire then from IncaUna's tank destroyers and anti-tank guns. Otherwise, he's just turning his panzers into very large targets. Also worth noting, we're not seeing additional armor here, so he really should be pushing for armor as well. But at this point, he may want to consider some Stugs with a higher rate of fire and range can of course put a bit more pressure on the Jacksons and the Shermans. At least consider that. Eastern points with the echelons. Jackson moving westwards here. Basil currently looking very comfortable. That's for sure. Armor can't get in the center. Got the sniper. They're still killing away for Deutschland. I was about to say freedom and democracy, but I'm fairly certain he's doing it for the exact opposite reasons of that. Machine gun opening grenadier Reason's Route Squad there. 2 light machine teams, in fact. We're on the west side here. I'm coming at the center. East side here. I mean, IncaUna's also, I think, doing a much better job maneuvering here than Xavier has, which is, of course, really trying to be a strength here for IncaUna in the later game. In fact, you'll typically see with a lot of matches is, like, you know, a lot of players typically tend to, like, you know, get a lot less flexible and tactically, they're, like, smart when the match goes on. And typically then if, like, one player has at least retained some ability to maneuver, they will typically be very much favoured then in a longer match, because, again, they can just, you know, keep up, you know, maneuvers and all that. And so it doesn't just, like, you know, beat out the forces senselessly. So thumbs up, that's IncaUna. Solid play there. He's decided to have the Ralph got reasons bring up, backed up the Stuart there. Certainly a strong armoured advantage here for IncaUna with the Jackson, the Sherman, Stuart versus a Panther 4 from Xavier. He's going for another one, obviously, but for now he's only got one Panther 4 and he will need more firepower. The strong, I think, should consider some Stugs here versus IncaUna's forces. Sherman with 4 kills, veterans 1, Panther 4 moving forward, see, got 10 kills, half hit to another shot up north, is still firing away there. Second Panther 4 almost on here for Xavier. Nice hit in the Panther 4, Sherman taking a hit there. Another shot there from the Jackson this time, though, does not hit anything. Looks like Basil's head. Oh shit, enough, he almost ripped off my headset there. Gap, at least he's seemingly satisfied with the amount of attention he got. Pack firing where they eventually 2 there. Machine gun power push up the center, going to need to be careful. Almost got the Sherman, but again, west side just wide open here to a good panzer push from Xavier with a bit to support it. Particularly also possible since he does have access to sprint, which allows him to at least, you know, briefly keep up with the tanks, for example. Cluster bombs here in the center. Forcing a retreat there from the machine gun team. Sniper there with 16 kills. Very good. East side here we got the missing 5 with a light tank. I mean, so far, Xavier I think is only really utilised. Well, he's got ambush camouflage up in the machine gun team, that's nice. But beyond that, it's really been artillery barrage. We've seen no Jaeger command squad, no G33s obviously, and well, no Stu close air support either. Going for less than fuel point there. I do think a Jaeger command squad could be an idea for Xavier to consider. Than another Panther 4 or the Stu could also be something to consider. Though he does go for another Panther 4, he really needs to like start thinking more about flanking his opponent, because in many ways, well, when he does focus in the centre, I mean, IncaUna leaves his flanks very open, so a good panzer push could quickly catch some of his more vulnerable units off guard and maybe even get like some units wiped or destroyed. But also just cause, I think, great disruption against IncaUna, so there's definitely something that Xavier should consider. Going for a Pioneer Squad? Not a bad idea, though. I think at this point, when it's so close to 3rd Panther 4, you probably should prioritise the 3rd Panther 4 over another Pioneer Squad. But, you know, otherwise, Pioneer Squad, good idea. You definitely want these 2, typically. In some cases, you've got to like, you know, a lot of armour. You might even want, like, 3 Pioneers. I think he's setting up here for the super close air support home to, like, you know, unleash a combined arms push with the Air Force and other stuff here to then crush IncaUna in one glorious Teutonic blow. If he can pull it off. But IncaUna's really got good map control again. Just all these heavy machine guns is really making things fairly uncomfortable for Xavier and the Germans. Which is now they're getting hammered by the MD-42 team. Again, the Pathfinders there making much harder for the sniper attack to operate efficient. Oh, got the machine gun team there. Could try and grab it. Probably won't. Got the C2 up there. Panther 4 holding back here. Destroying the 50 cal, denying it to the goddamn Krauts. Very sensible there by IncaUna, very sensible. Instead of going to push up here, going to need to be careful. Machine team there could try and line up some incendiary armor piercing rounds. Doesn't do that, still opening up there. Panther 4 good to go. Rifling up in the advance of IncaUna's forces, causing heavy casualties and leaving so men dead in the dirt. And he's trending forward, going to try and Panther Faust. I think he should have waited a bit closer. I think he spent it too quickly giving away the ghost there, or the gist of it, to IncaUna. Almost got the steward, but it does get away here. Jackson moving eastwards. Westwards, again, we can see there, IncaUna once more just exploiting that there's just, like, practically no presence from Xavier there in the west. Like, not even, like, any, like, you know, line of sight in a sense. Then getting shot here by the Panther 4. We got 14 kills, 22. Can go for 3rd Panther 4 here now, Mr. Xavier. Eine dritte Panzerkampfwagen 4, Lieutenant 14 to the Grenadier, backed up with your light tank. It's demolition armored. Is he planning tier 4 now, or? I guess he is. Well, if he is planning, he definitely is like going faster than he currently is. It's definitely happening, I think, at a bit of a awfully slow pace here. Like Xavier, maybe getting just pressure, maybe he's like getting a bit exhausted. His fortitude lacking sufficient depth here, possibly to maintain it all here in his head. Who knows? Jackson falling back, and suddenly got another push here by IncaUna. Starting to line one head-on attacks, no maneuvers from his role, but of course he does have the excellent cluster bombs here. And there you go, calling the midst here of Xavier's forces. Got the steward finally, took him an eternity here, backing up, need to get the Panther 4. There'd be like more here, could actually like blitz one ahead. Wow, they can't seem to hit the Panther 4. That is an impressively shoddy American market for gunnery there. God damn it, where do you guys learn to shoot? Utah? Utah? God damn. South got pushed back here, got the Jack moving up east and top back for the race on the major. Sherman 40 here, close to 2, glancing getting hammered here. Nice little impact forward in the Sherman. Fifth cal holding back here. Major being hammered with the light machine guns. We got 183 to 99. He seems like sort of stalled out strategic. Like he can't make up his mind to go for another Panther 4, to go for Stugas, to go for tier 4 here. And I think that hesitancy is definitely not great here. So he's finally realizing again this is the west side of the map here. Like it's like, you know, he just like, you know, realized, you know, he just stumbled upon a map and said west side of the map. It's like, oh goodness gracious, that exists too. I should call this New Zealand. It's like, you know what? And it's Panther 4 bang off, taking hit from the Jacks. On the west side, we got being caught here by a swarm infantry under IncaUna's deadly command. Here, Graham Leeson victory point, 175 to 299. Panther 4 being hammered here by the Jackson tank, just unleashing a torrent of death there from its 90mm gun. Eastern side got the Sherman up there, 2 kills, 22. Sherman head against the Grenadiers. Panther 4 need repairs, Panther 4 setting out there, 14 kills, 22. Machine gun there cleared out. back at base. Xavier really seems to stall out. He's starting to float a lot of resources. And a critical moment like this, I definitely think is a bad idea here. But again, it does seem to indicate that Xavier just might be feeling a bit exhausted and just flabbergasted. Like, he can't quite seem to realise what it is he wants to do here. And so strategically, he's currently lacking direction. Which, again, we also saw with this rather late pick of Jaeger Infantry. So, not great here for Xavier, but of course, great for IncaUna. Like, an opponent doesn't know what to do is, of course, a great target to hit. Nice hit there. Oh! Got him. Himmel got the Pioneers and the Panther 4. A slap across the face of spectacular proportions. Ears ringing. Vision blurred. Mom spaghetti or whatever. Jackson looking back here, but this is really looking terrible now for Xavier. Again, he's just seemingly stalled out. I mean, he's still keeping up the motions, but he really can't make up his mind. He's unsure how to deal with IncaUna and his current strategy. And I think Xavier might simply just be stressing himself up. That he just can't seem to make up his mind. And that he's just creating this really egregious case of indecision that's just going to, I think, you know, result in probably, at this rate, just giving up because he just doesn't know what to do. In fact, it seems like he's kind of hit that point. Like, he's just, you know, at the breaking point. He doesn't know what to do. He's lost so much, and he just can't figure out what is going to be useful. Like, you know, more Panther Force, heavy Panzer Corps, and there you go, GG game. A bit anticlimactic, but I think still a good fight in a lot of ways because it does highlight some important elements, like, again, you know, clarity of strategy, you know, maneuvering, flanking, all that. And IncaUna obviously played a fairly good match, really playing to his own strength. And Xavier, well, I think he had a really good opening, had some good maneuvers there. Again, as the match went on, he really just seemed to struggle with what to do. And that, you know, became a very big hindrance that sort of just dragged him down and ultimately cost us his feet there. So, I mean, sometimes if you're not sure what to do, my best advice is just keep pumping out medium tanks and just, you know, try and flank your opponent with them. It can get you a lot farther than you think it might do. But there you go, home. Enjoy this match. I'll learn something from it. If you subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Lane and my co-host Basil the Kitty Cat signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.